And now we've got Volkan Oezdemir taking on Nikita Krylov. I'm going to be picking Nikita Krylov in this matchup here. For some reason, though, I do have a pretty bad read on him and the UFC. He's so experienced. He's got 37 pro fights. He's been in the UFC for so long. And I feel like he's kind of flown under the radar until somewhat recently, where he's been kind of fighting at the top of the division. And he's fighting these top guys. A split decision loss to Glover Teixeira looks pretty good now. A win over Johnny Walker in the grappling looks pretty good now. A close, somewhat competitive fight loss to Magomed Ankalaev is looking good. A submission loss to Paul Craig, I guess, isn't the worst or the best loss to have, but that's kind of how Paul Craig wins. And Nikita Krylov was dominating that fight until he got submitted. Paul Craig really threw up the Hail Mary triangle choke and won that matchup there, and he knocked out poor Alexander Gustafsson. But yeah, Krylov's on a pretty good run. I know he's 2-3 in his last 5. But I wouldn't look at the record. I wouldn't look at the green and red dots there. I think you've got to kind of look at the performances themselves, and Krylov is looking good. He's a very well-rounded fighter. That's kind of how I recognize Krylov as just a very well-rounded fighter that can get it done anywhere. And I think he's got a really good striking. He's got really good striking, and he's got good power as well. He was beating Paul Craig. He almost knocked out Paul Craig as well on the ground. He's bouncing his head off the canvas when Paul Craig was lying on his back. And then he just fell into Paul Craig's trap, man. He fell into that triangle choke, and it's just how Paul Craig wins. Volkan Oezdemir, I picked Volkan Oezdemir to beat Paul Craig with a lot of confidence, actually. Mainly because I thought he was going to knock him out, and knock him out very early and just easily, like he did at the start of his UFC career. If you don't remember that, Volkan Oezdemir at the start of his career was crazy. This guy's knocking people out within a minute, and doing it in style as well. It was pretty awesome, but yeah, he's slowed down a little bit. He's not the same fighter anymore, in my opinion. He really just has slowed down. And I feel like Volkan Oezdemir and Paul Craig, if they were to fight a couple of years ago, Oezdemir really would have knocked out Craig in 30 seconds. But Oezdemir won. I was really confident in Oezdemir in that matchup as well, by the way. And he didn't look that great. Like, he didn't look so good on the feet against Paul Craig. I mean, Paul Craig's striking is pretty terrible. And it's just because he's a grappler, and he obviously doesn't really focus too much on the striking, and I think that's definitely something that you can respect about Paul Craig. Paul Craig knows that he's really good at jiu-jitsu, and he kind of sticks to it, which is good. It's very high fight IQ for Paul Craig. I'd much rather see him do that than fall in love with the hands. But yeah, a little bit off topic as well, sorry, but he lost to Ankalaev. He got knocked out by Yuri. It was a pretty competitive fight before that happened, though, but I think Krylov should win, man. Krylov's got the takedown threat as well. He can get the fight to the ground if he wants to. He can get ground and pound if he wants to. And I'm going to pick that. I'm actually going to pick ground and pound KO for Nikita Krylov. I don't know if he is going to want to wrestle with Volkan Oezdemir. Like, he probably does, because Oezdemir is a really good kickboxer. But I think he's going to have a lot of success on the feet as well himself. But I think we're gonna see some wrestling or some sort of grappling come out, even if it is just to kind of make Oezdemir start thinking about the takedowns. I think he gets to the ground eventually anyway. And Nikita Krylov, maybe not ground and pound KO. I don't know if that's not really Krylov's style, man. I feel like he's gonna knock him down and he's gonna finish with ground and pound, but it's not gonna be like a little bit of ground and pound. It's gonna be quite a bit of ground and pound to finish off the fight. So yeah, give me Krylov by KO. I'm gonna pick him to win by that method in this matchup here.